Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm so excited to film because I am going to do a 90s inspired makeup look. If I had to pick any decade where the makeup was probably my favorite, and I'm talking like 90s supermodel makeup, I love. And I also love 90s grunge makeup. But for today's video, I wanted to film a 90s supermodel inspired makeup look using probably one of my favorite palettes, and I'm a weirdo. I love cool tones. I feel cool tones are more flattering on me than warmer tones as far as like my eyes concerned. So I'm using the Dose of Colors Pretty Cool palette. These tones in here, they like scream 90s to me. Like this is just the perfect like 90s supermodel eye look in a palette. I also, like I said, I love grunge makeup. What was it, like I think my first year teaching, we had a like a spirit week, and the like last day of the spirit week was 90s makeup. Me and my friend, who she loves like 90s grunge as well, we went like all out, and I did my makeup so grunge. It was amazing. Like my students were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, like seeing me through this much makeup. But today I wanted to do more glam supermodel. So yeah, I hope that you guys are into this. I'm super stoked that the 90s like makeup vibe and like hairstyle is totally coming back. I like quickly threw my hair up, this is 90s inspired-esque. I was born in 89, so I grew up in the 90s, and I remember seeing like my cousins who, they're about 8 to 10 years older than me. I remember them in high school when they were, grunge and all of the bands, and, my cousin she was more glam. Like I remember her makeup, and so I feel like I'm seeing my childhood like style come back around. So yeah, like always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I also have my Instagram in the description bar, Sarah K. Kramer. I would love if you gave me a follow on Instagram. I'm super active. I post all the time, and that's where you guys get to see my life. And so yeah, I am super stoked to film this makeup look. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start, you're going to notice I look fairly ghostly. Reason is I did my base makeup, like my foundation and primers, off camera. For my primers, I went in with my, current fave combo, the Wet n Wild Cucumber 3-in-1 primer and the NYX Pore Filler. And then for my base makeup, 90s glam is all about like matte skin, like satin matte skin. So I went in with my I've been wearing this foundation nonstop. I absolutely love it. I get compliments every single day I wear this foundation. I cannot rave about it enough. And it is the new Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation. And I'm in this shade 30 CG, again, a cool tone. I wanted my skin, I really don't have a tan right now, so I wanted my face to be more on the pale side. So using this, which has the cool tone, has like the master tone, really works. So, and I have not set anything. I have spot concealed a couple of breakouts that I have. I'm actually going to turn this into a beauty mark, and I might turn this one into a beauty marker as well, but for sure this one, because my inspo picture is this one. And, it's Miss Cindy Crawford herself. When I think like not 90s supermodel, I think Cindy Crawford. And, she had the beauty mark, and I love a good beauty mark. I wish I naturally had one. So yeah, her eye makeup, it's like a darker outer corner, and then a very pale lid, and a nude waterline down below, and then just some good, it's like not too lashy, so I'm going to use a more natural pair of lashes. Today I'm going to go with the Kiss. These are in the style Peony. So yeah, these are the lashes I'm leaning towards. I might change my mind. So yeah, I'm not sure though if I'm going to do the red lip. I might do like a brown tone lip, you know, to put my own spin on it, but we'll see. So to start, I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to prime my eyes. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape primer, or sorry, not primer, concealer. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm a weirdo. I very rarely use this. I'm using it today because I want to have a nice bright eyelid. But I find this concealer is a little too heavy for me. So if I do ever use this concealer, like under, you know, in my under eye, I use it I do like a dot. And so this is going to help cancel any discoloration because I want to have a nice bright, you know, eye and base to work with. I'm also bringing that into my tear duct because I have not concealed, and so I want everything to see just the difference. One thing with 90s makeup that I totally vibe with is the fact that it's all matte. I love matte eye looks. I could wear a matte eye look every single day. I love glitter, but if glitter makeup was to like eyeshadow was to never be a trend again, I'd be totally cool with it. I don't know. Something about matte, a good like matte shadow or matte look, I'm just here for. So I'm now going to set my eyelid with my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm going to grab my Laura Mercier setting brush, and I'm just going to lightly dust this on my eyelid because I don't want to put shadows on top of wet concealer or primer. And I'm also going to bring that right in there and up to my brow bone, and same thing on the other side. Nice white lids. Oh, and I forgot to say in the intro, make sure you have something to drink in your soda because I sure do. We went to church today, and after church, I was like, I don't feel like making anything. So my husband and I went through it with crew. Went through El Pueblo Go, and I have my soda left over. So cool. I have my eyeshadow done, or not eyeshadow, eye primer done. So I'm going to go into the Pretty Cool palette, and I'm going to take the shade Topeless, which is this first shade right here. And I'm going to go in with a Morphe M518 brush. This is like a fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to take this palette. It does have a tiny bit of kickback in the pan, but that doesn't bother me. And so what I'm going to do to make sure that I only put this in my crease is I'm actually going to take my lid. I'm going to slightly lift my brow, tilt my head back, and where you see that natural shadow right there, I'm going to apply this because I don't want anything on my lid. And I'm looking to the side because it's where I have my mirror. And I'm not going to blow this out. I'm going to be fairly precise with where I place this color. Went back into the shade Topeless and just start to really define my crease. 90s makeup is all about a defined crease, a very pale lid, and then a dark outer portion along with a darker like lower lash line, and then they don't basically have anything on the inner eyelid or tear duct. So same thing, basically where your eyebrow should arch. Lightly grab that, tilt my head back, and apply that color. And I'm going in very lightly, and I'm just building up the pigment. These shadows blend so nicely. They're so pigmented. I really like the Dose of Colors shadows. I actually had never used Dose of Colors, and then I bought the Desi X Katie palette and the Pretty Cool palette. And this palette, I was like, yes, give it to me. I love it. And I use this palette all the time. And this is the first time I've used this palette in a video. And so right now I just look like I have like contoured out my crease, which is exactly what I was wanting. Now I'm going to go in with a more like dense blending brush. So I'm going to take, this is my Morphe M443. And I'm going to go in with this middle shade, which is Sign Off right here. And I'm going to further intensify my, just the outer part of my crease. Right below that color, because I want to create a gradient. And if you notice, I'm not going all the way in, and I'm going to start to blend that around in windshield wiper motions. I am holding my brush farther up so I have more control because I don't want it to go all the way into my inner corner. Okay, same thing on this side. And just blend that out. So you should have a nice dark crease. And I actually have my mirror down and I'm just like looking down. Beautiful. So if you look at the, when I look at the picture, it's like a black or like a cool tone brown. So is in the outer corner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a precise brush. I'm going to go in with my Morphe M506. And here's what the bristles look like. And I am going to take the shade, I want to go in with the shade Smoke Show, which is this very last shade right here. It's like a very cool tone brown, almost looks like purple. And I'm going to really get that pigment on my brush, and I'm going to only focus that on this darkest part of my crease right there. So I'm going to take, I'm literally just resting my hand right here, my palette right here. I'm going to place my elbow on the table. I'm just going to only focus this on the outside corner. See, it's a nice dark outer corner. That's exactly what, this is almost like an identical color to what Cindy Crawford has on in the picture. And I'm just going to darken up my outer V. And I'm going to slightly bring that, whatever's left of my brush, into my crease to blend the colors together. And smoke it out. So I'm going to go back in with that original blending brush, which is the M441, and I'm going to blend those colors with no additional product. I'm going to blend those colors together. Go back in with that shade Smoke Show. And that's what you should have. Okay, so I'm going to finish up my other, darkening up my outer veil, my other eye, and then I will be right back. All right, so I'm back, and if you notice, I have my outer, I have my crease and my outer V done. I'm going back in with my M441 brush, and I'm just making sure everything is blended seamlessly. And I'm going to go back in with that first shade Taupless to just intensify my crease a little bit, make sure everything is blended. So perfect. Now, the only thing with this palette is it does not have like a very light like lid shade. So I do though have another palette where if you don't have the Pretty Cool one, or like you want like a more budget friendly palette, this one would be perfect. And it is the LA Girl, the Nudist. I love this palette because it has a nice mix of like warm neutrals and a few cool tones. And it has a pure white shade right there. So guess what shade I'm going to go on with, everybody? That pure white shade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Morphe M508 brush. This is just an extremely dense packing brush. I'm going to get that white, and see, it's just so pigmented. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to place that on my lid. We had my cousin's wedding last Sunday, and I did like a more cool tone, like 90s vibe eye, and I got so many compliments on my makeup. I was surprised how many people loved like the all matte. I was very, very surprised. And one thing is, I'm not going in with like a cream. I'm going in with a pure white because white is going to be a nice contrast with my cool toned crease color. So I'm going back in with that small precise blending brush, and I'm making sure that that dark outer V is still nice and dark, and I have the nice bright lid. And see, just having the brightness on that inner part of my lid, it really opens up my eye. And so I'm going to do the exact same, if I can find my brushes, to the other side. And I'm looking down, and starting from my inner corner, I am going to pull that product right up into that crease and my like socket. The pigmentation in this LA Girl palette is amazing. If you are really like trying to watch your spending, this palette is great. This palette is a perfect like dupe option as far as, you know, getting some cool tones. And you can do a cool tone eye look, a warm tone look, anything. I just needed it for the white. But I could have done this look with this whole palette. All right, going back in with that blending brush, and I'm just making sure that my dark outer V is still going to be nice and dark. And I brought that white all the way into my tear duct. Perfect. I love it. You know, I'm going to add a little bit more white on this side. There we go. Perfect. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to do my under eye. 90s makeup, they did have a very, like, you know, the makeup had a, you know, a bright under eye. So I'm going to go in with my Stay Naked concealer. I love the foundation concealer combo. And I'm going to brighten my under eye up, honey. I'm going to do down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, and my chin. Because when I look at this picture, I definitely see that the center of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and the under eye does have a nice amount of brightness to it. So I'm just going to blend that out. I just think this concealer and foundation combo together is just, it's heavenly. Just heavenly. I'm going to blend out my nose. And I'm going to blend out my under eye. Blend that all out. And if you notice, I did not take my concealer and like cut a harsh line on my eye look. I wanted it to be more like rounded. That was the vibe. 90s makeup was either blown out with like a blown out cat eye, or it was a more like rounded, I have an eyelash in my eye. Or it was a more like rounded eyeshadow look. So there we go. And ours is done. And now I'm going to go ahead and I can finally start going and set my makeup. So to set my under eye, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier setting powder like I always do. And I'm going to take that on a small setting brush. And I'm just going to look down, set that under eye. Same thing on this side. Set that under eye. I'm also going to take that, set around my nose. Perfect. There we go. Now my forehead set. Now for the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match powder. I've been really enjoying this powder to set my face. And just quickly, oh, I have a piece of glitter in my hair. Quickly set my face. Down to my neck. Wonderful. Okay, so in this picture, she does have a contour. Like you can see her cheeks are contoured. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to first do just the slightest bit of bronzer to bring some life back to my face. And then I'm going to really contour out my cheeks. So to do that, I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And I'm going to go in with my, this is just like a Japanese blending brush. And I'm going to bronze, but I'm not going to bring that bronzer all the way down. One thing with 90s makeup is the bronzer stopped like right at the apples of the cheeks. So this entire like middle portion of the face is nice and bright. So, and I'm going in with this. I'm going to just bring life back to my skin. And I'm making sure that goes up into my hairline. There's my dog. I thought I closed the door. Obviously, I didn't. I am living for this eye makeup right now. Like, living for it. Gonna chisel out my under chin. This is like just such like bad bitch makeup. I like love this makeup. I love 90s makeup. Like, love it. Yeah, honey. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring. So to first start, I'm going to contour my cheeks. I'm going to take my Real Techniques. This is the contour brush. And I'm going to go in with this cool tone shade. To contour, you always want to use a cool tone shade that has like a gray undertone because contouring is bringing shadow to your face. So I'm going to go in, tap off the excess. I'm just going to really chisel out that cheek. And it just really, oh, like, makes it nice. And I have hair in my nose, you guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to do the same thing under my chin to snatch my jawline. And under my lip. See, it just looks so, I love contour. I think contour makes it's just flattering on anybody. Now I'm going to take my nose contour brush because I'm going to do a slight little contour on my nose because Cindy Crawford, it doesn't look like in this picture she has a harsh contour on her nose, but you can see that, you know, there is some dimension brought back to her nose. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to start in my socket of my eye because you want your contour to connect. And I'm just going to bring that down. And snatch the nose and if you have it too harsh like how I have, you just take your beauty blender, and blend it all. Blend it out. And it makes your contour not as harsh or scary as mine looked. I'm going to contour the tip of my nose. Seem cute. All right, perfect. So now I want to go in with some blush. She doesn't look, in the picture, she doesn't look like heavily blushed. So, or I'm sorry, not blush, but flush. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go in with one of my fave blushes of all time. This is Tarte blush in the shade Sensual. This is a warm tone. Almost, you could even use it as a bronzer. But I'm going to use my same Drop-A-Nesque brush. And I'm going to go in. I mean, obviously this is what you loved. I've hit pan. I'm going to just add a little bit Zaza. I'm going to like zhuzh it up a little bit, you know. Cool. 90s makeup definitely focus on the eyes and the contour for sure. Blush was kind of almost like I personally feel like blush was like a second thought. They're like, we'll throw just a little bit on. Now, one thing with 90s makeup is highlighter really wasn't used a whole lot. So for me, I actually don't mind going without highlighter, but I want to add just a little something. So I'm going to take the highlighter in my Anastasia contour kit. It is like the most muted highlight ever, and I actually don't mind it at all. And I'm going to take that on a fan brush so it's not applied too heavily, and I'm just going to lightly go in with my fan brush and just hit the tops of my cheeks to bring another level of dimension. And same thing down my nose and on my tip. Cool. So now I'm actually going to go and I'm going to add my beauty mark. So I'm going to go with my Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I'm just going to make that into a beauty mark. And same thing right there. Gonna go into my contour kit, and I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take my contour brush and a contour color, and I'm just going to set my beauty marks in place. Like so. I'm not feeling this beauty mark. This one can stay. This one needs to go. So don't stress out. You take your beauty blender. And just blend it, and it'll start. You just have to work at it, and it will. Take your concealer setting brush And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I know I already have my face powdered, don't stress out. You take literally just the tip of your beauty blender. Isn't that what tutorial is all about? You learn as you go. You make your mistakes, you fix it. Hey, that's what makes makeup beautiful, is you can learn. You learn as you go. And look, it's fixed. Easy peasy, right? Right. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my setting brush and I'm just going to go in with my powder like that. Donezo. Okay, so now I need to do my brows. Brows in the 90s, this is where I royally ruined my eyebrows because the 90s like vibe with eyebrows was a very thin brow. However, Cindy Crawford actually had a thick brow. So I'm going to go in off camera. I'm going to do my brows. I'm going to apply lashes. I'm going to do lashes. I'm going to do eyeliner off camera as well. And then I will be right back. All right, everybody. So my lashes were just not wanting to work today. So I totally scrapped the Kiss lashes. They were too thick. They weren't working for me. So I actually went in with my Ardell Wispies in the style 602 Black. And they're just super natural looking. The Kiss lashes, you like couldn't see the color from my eyeshadow. So these, it's, you know, they're longer. It just honestly looks like I have just really naturally thick lashes, which is what Cindy Crawford's lashes look like in my inspo picture. It just looks like she has nice, you can see what I have my filming camera set up on. Little tidbit. So I have my beauty mark like shows in the picture. I have the cool tone eye. My eye look I feel is a little more purple than hers. But you know, it all works out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my lower lash line, and to do that I'm going to go back in with that Pretty Cool palette. In the 90s, they really only have color from like halfway to the eye to the outer corner. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go in, and it looks like in the picture that it's just like that darkest shade. So, ooh, how much on my brush? So I'm going to go in with the brush that comes in the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to go back in with that shade Smoke Show with the pencil brush side. I'm going to get color on there, and I'm going to just apply that to my lower lash line and stop halfway like that. And do the same thing on this side. I did also a very thin line of liquid eyeliner, and I used the Ulta Beauty Microfiber Felt Tip Liner. I'm trying to use this up. It bleeds. I actually had, if you look right there, I had to fix that. So it's not my favorite. Surprised because I actually love Ulta Beauty like stuff, brand stuff. So that's kind of surprising. So I'm just going to go in and just stop halfway. Like I said earlier, when you leave your inner corner white or light, it's going to help really open up the eyes and give like a doe eye effect, which I personally find very flattering on my eye shape. So that's another reason why I think I just vibe with 90s makeup, because it's the type of makeup that just flatters mine. Now, with that blending brush, I'm going to go in with that very first shade, which is Taupeless. I'm going to just lightly smoke out and then diffuse that shade Smoke Show and just nice and blown out. Now, here's the fun part, and I don't typically do this, so I'm like super excited to do this today. I'm going to get any color out of my waterline that I might have gotten when I did my lower lash line. And I'm going to take, this is the NYX Wonder Pencil. This is in the shade medium. It is a skin tone pencil, and I'm going to put that in my waterline, my lower waterline, and it's going to really open up my eyes. So I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and just put that nude shade. Isn't this the most flattering face ever? And it just really opens it up. And I'm using my beauty blender because I don't want a finger smudge from holding my eye open. Now this is a great trick if you feel like you look really tired and you're doing like a no makeup look or whatever, and you want to open up your eyes. You can take a white or a nude color pencil and do this. I prefer nude. And just really, and just see how bing, my eyes look ginormous right now. Now I'm just going to go in with my lower lash mascara, because in the 90s, lower lash mascara was heavily used, which I am a-okay with. I'm just going to, I'm taking my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Waterproof Mascara. I have very long lower lashes, so I can use a more like fat mascara wand. And I'm just going to coat my lashes, really getting as close to my base as possible. And see, it just looks so good. I just love 90s makeup. Like, I know I've said this like a gazillion and one times, but I just love it. Also, it's like a gazillion degrees in my filming room, so I rocked the 90s hair as long as I could, and then I just had to put my hair. But don't you guys like all my little baby fluffs that are growing in? That was 100% sarcastic, because they can hurry up and grow because they're not cute. Now, lips. In the picture, she's rocking like a red lip. I'm not really vibing with a red lip, so I'm going to do a brown lip. So let me grab all my lips products, and I'm going to go in with MAC, as always. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do MAC Subculture. I'm going to just line my lips quickly. And I'm going to slightly overline my lips just a little bit, because my lip filler needs to be redone. Those of you who don't know, I have my lips done because naturally I have zero lips. Like, they're non-existent, and it's terrible. I mean, I personally think it's terrible. I'm just really going in and getting that. Now, this is a little like very, very natural looking, so I'm going to go with MAC Whirl, and I'm going to just define my Cupid's bow and the outside. There we go. Oh, I love it. Now for my lip color, I need to find my MAC Velvet Teddy, because that I feel is like a perfect 90s like brown tone color. I need to find it. Right here, Velvet Teddy. It is just, and it's matte, it's brown. I love it. And like I said, 90s was all about the matte. Oh, set your makeup. Set my face. My hair's not very 90s anymore, but you know, you get it. All right, everyone, there is the finished makeup look. I really, really enjoy it. That's not lipstick. That is a breakout scab. So yeah, everybody, this is the finished makeup look. I am vibing with how it turned out. It turned out so good. Toot, toot, my own horn. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I hope you guys like this makeup look. I had so much fun filming this for you today, you know, with even the little roadblocks that I hit. But hey, that's what a tutorial's for. We learn from it, we live it, we love it, it all works out. So yeah, like always, if you could go ahead and like, comment, subscribe down below. Also, my Instagram is Sarah K. Kramer. And go ahead and give me a follow because I talk all things, you know, beauty, makeup, lifestyle, mamahood, wifehood, and everything in between. And yeah, I love that you guys came and hung out with me, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!